Hey everyone. So I wanted to talk about a particular issue that I've been having with my Vanagon. This now makes the third time that I have had this particular situation happen over the last probably 9 months or so. And what's happened is that after I've driven through a pretty heavy rainstorm and park my Vanagon in the garage, after a couple of days, I go back to crank up the engine and it may run for about maybe 10, 15 seconds and then it dies. And then I can't get it started again. And what I've determined the culprit is this little guy right here. And this is the Temp II sensor. You can see there's two electrical prongs inside of it. And this side goes into where the coolant is on the coolant tower. There's a rubber O-ring gasket there that when it's plugged in to the gasket, there's a green clip that holds it in place, and then you can see that the temp sensor is keyed. So there's an electrical plug on the Vanagon wiring harness, and it's a real simple. You just press down on the metal part of it that holds it in, pull the electrical connection off. Every time that this has happened, so far I've been able to unplug this sensor and the engine will run. And again, this is a 1986 Vanagon 2.1 Waterboxer. And what'll happen is that the RPMs on the engine it may run rough pretty badly there for a while, but the RPMs on mine at least will shoot up around maybe 1500 RPM. And then once the engine is warmed up, then I can plug it back in and it'll work okay. Now what I've done, and again, now I've replaced this at least twice. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to probably replace this one again here in the near future. But I usually carry a spare now, just in case. But what I'll do is that I'll take the dielectric grease that you can get at pretty much any auto parts store, and I'll put it into the electrical connection on the wiring harness side, inside the female side of it, before I plug it in here. And so that's where it is. So I'll cut away to the engine here in a few moments and show just exactly where that particular sensor and that connection is located in the engine bay. Okay, so I'm looking into the engine bay, and that Temp II sensor is going to be located on the left-hand side as you look in the engine. And sorry for all the movement there, but that is the connection. And so you can see the metal clip, the blue connection is the wiring harness connection. So you press down on the metal clip, and that connection will pull out. So let me see if I can get that undone. My engine right now, I did get it running again, and so the engine's a little bit warm. Let me see if I can do this without not just absolutely burning my hand off here. So let's see. All right, so that clip that I'm talking about is underneath on here. So what you do is that you push up and then the connection pulls away. And so now you can see there's those two female connections there. Those are the ones that I have put the dielectric grease inside. And so far so good. But maybe this is something that's inherent to my van. I don't know if other people have this issue or not. You may. It may be worthwhile checking out. Again, I would certainly advise keeping a spare of that Temp II sensor. When you replace that, so there is a green clip that holds it in, and when you pull that out, I'm going to go ahead and give you fair warning, you are going to lose some coolant. So you probably want to be out of the way of when that coolant starts dropping, but pull the old one, push the other one in. My other advice would be do this on a cold engine if you can, if at all possible. So anyway, yeah, and then the connection slides right in. You hear it click, and that's how it's done. So I don't know if this helps anybody out there. Hopefully it does. This has been my scenario. I've got another Temp II sensor on order, and that should be, I've got the other one there as a spare, but I'm going to get a different one and plug it in, see what I get. All right, thanks guys.